64 Tacos Podcasts presents Is This Song Good? This is episode 53, the Mars Volta, Eriatarka.
Okay, welcome back to the Is This Song Good podcast, the 64 Tacos podcast. This week we're continuing season 4 Deep Cuts, and we're doing a song that I picked. It's called Eriatarka. I think that's how it's pronounced, by the Mars Volta, and it's from their 2003 album called De-Loused in the Comatorium, and it's produced by Rick Rubin.
Weird.
Interestingly enough.
Yeah.
Well, he can do whatever he wants at this point. I mean,
yeah.
It's just a strange. I don't know why he wanted to.
Well, it's probably wasn't his choice. It was probably like the the label that they were on said, "Hey, we need a heavily produced album for this first one, so we're getting Rick Rubin." And they're probably like, "Okay,
yeah, can you make it relatively extremely loud compared to everything else on the radio?" And he was like, "Yes, I can do that."
So yeah, I'm looking up so the singles for this album, there are only two. There was an Inertiatic ESP, which is like the lead off song on the album, and then Televators, which is kind of a more subtle, like acoustic-y, ballady type song. And honestly, I don't even know how they picked those, because neither of them I think would be radio worthy at all, or any song on this album.
I'd say Inertiatic is the most radio ready of all the songs on here, because it's shortish and has a basic, a somewhat normal, if you cut off all the noise at the end, as usual with Mars Volta. And
you don't include the lead-in intro.
Yeah, which the song suffers without, I've always thought. But anyway.
So this song, Eriatarka, so I listened to this album a lot, like just all the way through, over and over again, back to back. And this song I just really liked how it felt very kind of poppy to me, a little bit, but also very proggy. And I've always liked prog rock. So that's kind of really where I come from. I think the lyrical content is very interesting because it's non-existent. Like he's saying words. He's definitely saying words.
Is he?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the lyrics right now.
He may be saying words like Eriatarka.
No, that doesn't come up at all. So
he doesn't say that at all, of course, because that would make sense. Why would you?
The chorus is track marked amoeba landscraft, cartwheel of scratches, dress the tapeworm as pet, tentacles smirk please, flinch to the cocooned meat, infra recon forgets. It's insane, and
are you sure
I love it.
The lyrics aren't Informer? Say daddy me, snow me, I go blame, a licky boom boom down.
No, my biddly bop. No.
Detective man say daddy, me snow, me stab someone down the lane, a licky boom boom down. I mean, that might as well be what's going on here.
At least it doesn't sound Jamaican, I will say that. No, I mean, one of my favorite parts are the lyrics, because they're just so nonsensical.
Are they?
Yeah. I mean, what is your take on that meaning? Like, what do you get out of
my favorite part of this song is when it ends. I did not like this one bit.
I am not surprised.
I mean, you guys knew this coming in.
Yeah.
I cannot stand this person's vocals. I'm surprised you like it, Dan. With it has that what you like to refer to as affected, and I cannot handle it. No, I don't even have words.
Well, it's interesting. You say that it's affected, and I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I never thought of it that way before. That he had an affected vocal. I love. Yeah, he has his own style. That's for sure. I love the vocals. Like that's one of the stronger things for of this band for me. What always for this band, and I think a lot of people will hate this. Like I think that's a common like response. The first time I listened to it, I was like, I don't really get it. Like Zach, I think you played a song for me, and I was like, okay, that seems interesting. I always like songs that have like a lot of musicianship, and this has a lot of musicianship.
There's all the musicianship.
Yeah,
all of it's in there.
Yeah, they shove it into every single song. They're just like, and then this, and you're like, holy crap. But then I was kind of like, oh yeah, that's crazy. You know, like sometimes I just can admire something for being crazy, you know, especially prog stuff. But then I listened to it again a little while later, like a few months later, and I was like, oh my God, I love this. And I don't know what it is that tipped it for me. But yeah, the vocals I love. The thing that tips me towards this is too much. Number one, they have the tendency to have long, atmospheric, weird, noisy sections, which, you know, take it or leave it. You know, like I'm like, sometimes I don't mind. Sometimes I'm like, all right, next song. I'm done with this. But also, Omar, the guitar player, has a tendency to choose a sort of like a thin and abrasive guitar tone and be really wanky and just like play all the notes. But not like in a like Yngwie Malmsteen kind of way or Satriani kind of way, but like in a, I'm just going to play all the notes in the pentatonic scale as fast as possible.
It's just noodling. That's really how it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But weirdly, sometimes that's perfect for the song. And sometimes his tone, the guitar tone, might strike me as being a little like annoying, but sometimes it's the perfect thing for the song. This is not like a music that's easy to get into. There's no doubt about that. And, you know, we talked about the lyrics a little bit here, and, you know, Zach says that he finds it fascinating, you know, and interesting, and that's what's really cool. Dave says that was a mishmash of, I don't, you know, whatever. Lyrics on this, for me, it's like, I read the lyrics just to, you know, to do it. And like, I only actually, having heard this song hundreds of times, because this album is the one that I've listened to the most of all the Mars Volta, although I enjoy almost all of them. But I could not, if you read this out loud to me, I'm not sure how long it would take me to be like, oh, that's Eriatarka. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't actually like listen to the words themselves. I think all he's really trying to do, I don't know, maybe he has an overarching meaning, but for me, all he's trying to do is create these sort of like bizarre feelings and like mental pictures. And for me, like one in every 4 lines will like jump through, because it's all kind of buried in the sort of like mishmash of like percussion and guitar. And yeah, so the lyrics has never been a focal point, and I certainly never made an effort to glean meaning from them. It's more about like a feel, like he's trying to create a feeling is how I think of it.
Yeah, that's exactly, I think, what's going on. I'm in the same boat. Like I don't focus on the lyrics very much. I do think there are some interesting motifs that are evoked, you know, like of Pavlov lore, talking about, you know, psychology things, the happened on respirator in the basements. I mean, these things stand out. I don't really know what's trying to be evoked by them, but I do like, you know, those as lyrical motifs, but I don't think there is an overlying theme that is supposed to make sense. I was listening to a lot of this when I was delivering pizzas working at Domino's, and I remember talking to Mr. Well, I won't say his name on here, but the guy who had the pond, that guy,
the pond guy.
Oh, the pond guy,
pond guy. So he would come in and I would come back from a run or whatever, and he'd start saying these lyrics to me, and I was like, "What song are you talking about?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's Eriatarka." And I was like, "Oh yeah, well, okay, yeah. I mean, it's weird. That's just what they do, you know." To me, it was like, you know, he was focusing so much on the lyrics, and to me, that's not what makes the song great. To me, like, I love Flea's bass playing on it. That's one of the huge things. I love John Theodore's drumming.
Oh yeah,
I love the banshee screaming guitar tone and guitar solo at you know, the midpoint. I think that, you know, it sort of segues from the first part of the song to the second part of the song. But yeah, no, it's just it's very proggy. It's very, very specialized, like it's I could definitely see where you would not like it, Dave. And there's probably a lot of people that don't like it for various reasons, whether it's the lyrical content or the, it's just too much, it's like all the things. But I absolutely love it. And I continue, I'll do re-listens of the full album, but I'll continually throw this one on like playlists and stuff. So it just kind of like pops out and scratches my soul, fervently. But yeah. Do you have anything more to add at all? Either one of you?
No, I've said what I needed to say.
Okay.
Yep. You could have picked any of the songs on here, and I would have felt the same way. I love this album. I really like almost all the Mars Volta albums. I just like how it's prog, but it's also like loose and messy.
Yeah,
like it's not perfect, because sometimes stuff like Yes, I admire Yes, but I have trouble loving Yes because it's all very clean and pristine, and it's very impressive. But I find myself getting in more into this sort of loose stuff, and I also love that and you get this more in later albums, but they start to ease like the sort of Latin feel into these things too. Sometimes, like on Francis the Mute, whole sections are in Spanish, even, but they're from El Paso, right on the border. So, they clearly have that as an influence. That sort of Latin feel with prog, with sort of like garage rock, like production values. And it's everything. And I can't blame anyone for not liking it. Like it's a whole lot, but I love this song. I love this album. I love this band. I don't know what it is, but it absolutely works for me.
All right. Well, next week we are going to go back to the 90s with some dirty grunge with Soundgarden's 4th of July.
All right.
So look forward to that one.
I caught it on audio.